everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a blanket from Stella's Snowflake. To crochet Stella's Snowflake, I will leave a link in the screen of this video, but extra information will also be available at my website or in the drop-down description box below. In this tutorial, we are going to add a flat edge to our Stella's Snowflake, and then we are going to join the motifs to make a blanket. For the filler or half motifs, please see my written pattern on Etsy or Ravelry. Thanks for watching! Now let's get started. To begin, I'm using the same hook that I used for my snowflakes, which is the G 4.25mm crochet hook. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and a yarn or wool needle to weave in ends. Start by placing a slip knot into the end of your working yarn. Next, we're going to single crochet into one of our chain 6 corner spaces. So it doesn't matter which one we choose. So I'm going to chain 1 to secure that slip knot, and then single crochet into that chain 6 space. Next, chain 2. We're going to single crochet into the top of our picots here. So one single crochet here and one single crochet here. Into these picots, because they're a loop, you're going to place your hook right down into the middle of the picot. Next, chain 2. Double crochet into your previous single crochet here. Chain 2. Single crochet into your 2 picots here. Chain 2. Now this chain 6 here is our point and going to be a corner. So we're going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into this same space. Now we're just going to repeat what we did over here onto each side of our snowflake. So after creating our corner, we single crocheted, chain 2, single crochet. Next, what we're going to do is chain 2, single crochet into our picots, chain 2, double crochet into the previous single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into our picots, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into our chain 6. Now just repeat this all the way around. Once you've come around to the very end of your work, here I have chain 2. You're going to single crochet into your beginning chain 6 here. Then chain 1 and single crochet into the top of this single crochet here. Now we can begin round 2. Chain 3. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. Double crochet into this same single crochet that we just single crocheted into right here. Now we're going to single crochet into each chain and each stitch all the way to our corner or point right here. These chain 2, only place 1 double crochet into them. Once you get to this chain 2 at the top of the point, you're going to double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into that same space. Then just start your next side just like we did this one. In between our chain 2s, so I have a chain 2 here and a chain 2 here, there should be 13 stitches right here. Continue in this fashion all the way around, and once we come to the end, I will meet back up. Here I have come to the very end of my work. I single crocheted into my last stitch here, and now this is that chain 1 from the previous round. We're going to double crochet into that space made by the previous chain 1. Then chain 2 and slip stitch to the top of this chain 3 here. Now if your motif looks a little bit like this, that's completely normal. You can just pull it out like this, flatten it out. And once it's on your blanket, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. If this is your first motif, go ahead and cut a nice long tail, pull the tail through the last loop on your hook. If this is your second motif, let's go ahead and join it to our first motif. If you would prefer not to do this slip stitch method, you can also just sew your motifs together with a yarn needle. I'm going to show you how to join 2 sides right here. So for starters, you want to make sure that your motifs line up very nicely. So I have points on each side, 1 up here in the corner here, 1 right here in the center, and then I have another corner right here. So that's going to match up with the corner that we just finished. I find this is easiest to do on a flat surface. Now picking up our work like this, our yarn is going to remain kind of at the back of our work here. Then because we slip stitch to this very first stitch here, we're going to slip stitch to the coordinating stitch on the other side. So I'm just going to insert my hook. Now I have my loop from my green snowflake here, and I have the new loop right here. Then you're going to take your working yarn and just pull it through both these loops. So there's a slip stitch. After we've done that slip stitch, you can see what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing the loops closest to each other here. So because of the V, we have an outside loop here, and then we have an inside loop here. You're going to take your crochet hook and you're going to go down between, right into the middle of the V and grab that loop. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to go down into the middle of the V and grab also that inside loop. So again, I'm going to grab it from my white snowflake first, and then I'm going to come over here and grab the same stitch of this one over here, and we're going to grab the inside loop of that stitch. So now I have these 3 loops on my hook. I'm just going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And if it's easier, you can do 1 loop at a time as you pull that slip stitch through. Now we're going to do this again. Always start with the same snowflake. So again, I'm going to start with the white one. I'm going to grab that inside loop of the next stitch. Then I'm going to grab the inside loop of my green snowflake, grab my working yarn and pulling it through all 3 loops. And in doing so, it creates this beautiful stitch on top that sits on top. The back side of our work also looks nice and smooth. Now we're just going to keep going. Inside loop of my white snowflake, inside loop of my green snowflake, grabbing my yarn and pulling it through. So here I have just joined the last double crochet on each snowflake. Once we get to the corners, it gets a little bit more tricky. So when you're joining your first motif, you're just going to join one side. When you do this, you're just going to take one chain loop from your white snowflake and one chain loop from your green snowflake and join them together. So just like this. So one chain loop from my white snowflake and one chain loop from my green snowflake, and then slip stitch. And then what we do is cut a long tail, take that tail, pull it through the loop on our hook, and finish those off. So that would be our first join here. But I'm going to show you how we're going to continue with our slip stitching, so you can also learn how to do these multiple joins. Now continuing from here, we just joined one chain from our white snowflake and one chain from our green snowflake. Now we're going to go ahead and grab one chain from this next snowflake here. So I'm going to grab that one chain, and you're going to grab the chain from your green snowflake. Then yarn over and pull through all of those loops on your hook. So then this is what this looks like. It creates this really nice join. Then you're just going to continue in the fashion that we've been doing. That inside loop from my white snowflake and the inside loop from my green snowflake. Then I'm going to slip stitch. Now when you get to the end here, make sure to always slip stitch one chain from each snowflake. So I'm going to grab one chain on this side and one chain on this side. Slip stitch. Then I've got my long tail, snip my yarn, grab that tail and pull it through the last loop on my hook. And there we have this beautiful join. After you have joined all the snowflakes together exactly how you want them, you can go ahead and weave in all your ends. I hope you enjoy making Stella's snowflake blanket. Again, for more information, please check out the drop-down description box below or my website, jonnamartinez.com. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Have a lovely crochet day, and I hope to see you again in my next tutorial. Bye!